too much for the Prague or Czech public to open my own museum or whatever exhibition or gallery. That was obvious that everybody will call it mausoleum, as the kind of, the irony. So I thought that it would be nice to call it mausoleum as the irony of myself. What is weird in terms of generation of talk about, the difference, is that when we were 22, I was 22 or 21 after the end of the communism, what is completely different, like the other side, is that the guys who survive the communism and fight against the communism and somehow manage to, stay alive, in 91, 92, 93, they were telling us, and we were looking at them as the heroes. We were looked at Havel, Martin Heroes, the guys who were, the underground, whatever. We were looking at them as the heroes of our time and as the personalities. If I remember, the professors in my university, they were the people who were actually looking at because they did something. And those guys were looking at us and they were saying, like, what we really jealous at? Your youth. And it's completely different. If I speaking with anybody within my generation and they're looking at what's going on in the universities and whatever, the world we're living in, everybody's saying, Jesus Christ, thanks God we are not 25 or 20. Thanks God we had the fantastic life and chance to actually be young in the 90s. And we would never change that, And the generation who are now 20, 25 are saying, they don't look at us, they don't look at the generation before them like that they did anything. They look at us like, those are like weirdos, we don't speak with them, They don't know how to use TikTok or, So it's completely different. Usually it's not that I would say, okay, this is nice building, I want to put there something. It does not work this way. I'm always the request to do something. So I'm, if I have an option, somebody asking me, when Havel asked me, okay, can you put something to Lucerna? I said, well, maybe we can do something, and then I came up with the idea to put there the horse. So it always comes from the request. I don't. The babies on the Kampa, I was asked by Madame Ládek, the founder of the gallery Kampa. In Mlíny, yeah. And Žižkov Tower, I was in that time asked from the Žižkov municipality if I would be, because I was in that time actually living on Žižkov, and they asked me if I would be willing to contribute something for the year 2000, which was the city of Prague was the city of culture of Central Europe, or center culture of city of something like whatever. They were meant to be installed around the museum of contemporary art in Chicago. That's the one which actually happened to be the first one, and they were kind of like an invasion of the commerce. So that's why they have, you know, the barcode on the face. Yeah. But then the organizers of the show, which was a show of the Eastern Europe artist in '91 probably, the organizers spent all the money on a catalog. So there were no money left for making the actual art, and I had only one. And then I reused the existing, the first baby. I reused it for the installation on the tower. So that's what was it like behind. And then there happened to be quite popular. Those three actually belongs to me. And they're bronze, and as you see, then they are the originals which were actually on the tower. But after 20 years, the rules, you know, the restrictions, the static and dynamic restrictions changed so much that they had to be reconstructed. The originals weighed about 100 kilograms each one. The new one, which are now on the tower, just the inner structure weighs about 300 kilograms. Yeah. So it's like bulletproof, atomic explosion proof, you know, it's like crazy, whatever. I was asked by the owner of the building to do something for the square because there was some stupid fountain, and I did a piece which is in Charlotte, a little bit similar, but so it goes like, if you go this direction, you can see it. There is a head. There are those two peeing guys. Yeah. And the head of this, and it's very old. It's
in front of Kafka's museum.
It is in front. But it has nothing to do with the actual Franz Kafka Museum. It used to be a regular restaurant. So those guys had, because I was using the slicing. You can actually see it in Mausoleum. I was using it from 90s. And this one I did in 2005 probably. And I used the same head and blow it up and make it rotating. And that piece exists since 2003 in Charlotte in America, in North Carolina. And it's called Metamorphosis, the piece which is in States. And it's huge, it's like 10 meters high. Asked to do something here because it's like a very central part of the Prague where used to be also long time ago Jewish cemetery. And Franz Kafka was working around the corner as the clerk in the insurance company. And it's called Národní, but it's like very funny, you know, when you look at the Národní and what is, you know, behind Národní, it's National Street or station of the subway National. So I saw that I would like to put something together which would be like sort of connecting all the things. And Kafka in a way is also for me very connecting person for the city, because he was, you know, it's like during the communism, he was never said that he was a Czech author. He was said that he was a German author, and if you look at his biography or whatever, he's always said that he is a German author. So, but he's Czech. He was like fucking living in this kind of city, you know, all his life. And he, of course, spoke Czech, but he was writing only in German, beside Yiddish. So it's like, you know, if you look at those connections, he is in a way very representing the mood of the city, probably, for me. So that's why it's not the memorial of Kafka. It's really, you know, I use it as the funny image or in a way, and it's also about the absurdity. And
another curiosity, hanging the Freud.
The Freud.
But
well, Freud.
He's
the Freud, you know.
He's the Freud.
He's
Really?
The Freud, yes, he's the Freud. He's the statue of Freud.
But
so,
you said once, that he's not Freud.
I said it's Freud. It's a Freud.
Yeah?
It's Sigmund Freud, yes.
Really, Sigmund Freud?
It's really Sigmund Freud, yeah. If you look at his face.
Freud?
I'm probably like Freudian a bit. Yeah, Darwin is Freudian. Slightly, scratched by Kafka. Infection of both, three, all of them, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is video. I just used. Thank you, David Černý. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Enjoy.